Right, so we'll start by just collecting some information to enable us to deploy to configure our IAM role and policy. So we need the OADC identifier, and we also need our Amazon AWS account. All right, so there's two ways of getting the AWS account. You can do it here from the command line, or as I said, up in the top right-hand corner, where my username information is. So obviously I've redacted the output here, but there's just two different ways of doing that, right? So next I'm going to pipe them or input them into the YAML or my JSON file that I've already pre-configured. So this is in the blog itself. Right, so you can see that there. So that I've a pointer to AWS.com as well on the documentation on where to find this as well in the blog. Fairly straightforward. So again, I'm going to upload this using Cloud Shell, like I did in the last blog, just for the sake of consistency. And it's just easier to edit it outside the environment of Cloud Shell. All right. So that's up and running. So there it is. Just cat to the file just to make sure it looks good. Yep, all good. All right, so next I'm just going to create the role itself. Right. Give the role a name and point to this file. There's the command. In you go. All right, so now I'll have a role, right? But the next step then, of course, is I'm going to have to apply or attach an AWS managed policy to give her permissions, right? To leave it know what it can do. Paste that in. And we're going to give this role name geos_Amazon EKS. Right, we saw that, and there's the policy. So I'll just refresh here on the GUI, and you can see that the permissions policies pop up. All right, and there we go. So we just scroll through some of them. All right, so next that should allow us to deploy the CS driver itself. Before we do that, though, we're going to deploy the snapshotters, right, or the snapshot capability for the CSI driver. So this has to be done before I install the add-on. So here again, it's on the Git, actually on the AWS Git, and it's also on the blog. Right, so it's just copy and paste. And after that's run, we'll just check if they're up and running. Give that a couple of seconds there to come up. Right, before we check. Kubectl get pods -n kube system. There we go, everything is up and running. So I see the two snapshotters there. I see core DNS, of course, and kube proxy. They're all up and running. All right, so now blink and you miss it. We're going to install the CSI driver itself. So again, pulled it from the blog. A little too quick here off the mark, so that's still creating the container for the CSI drivers. Give it a second, and there we go, up and running. To kubectl again, get pods. It's all looking good. Right, so we can actually go into the GUI itself. I want to take a look at the GUI itself, and you can see it. So when I spun up the cluster itself, it came with some default add-ons, like kube proxy and CNI and core DNS. But you can see actually here the Amazon EBS CSI driver configured as an add-on. Right, so all good. Let me click into that, and it's active. So no errors, all looking good. All right, so now we need to do the snap class for the snapshots class, right? To leverage the CSI driver to do snapshots in the backend storage on our behalf when we deployed workload in the workload clusters. So again, I just copied and pasted the YAML file here because it's probably just easier with YAML. I could have uploaded, but so kubectl apply that snap class. created. All right, and we'll just check there if it's running. So kubectl get volume snapshot class. And there we go, up and running. ebs.csi.abs.com, all good. Now, next, very similar. We deploy using YAML again, our storage class, pointing to our CSI EBS driver. Command, copy, paste. There it is. Kubectl apply to execute the command, to execute it. Now at this point, we're going to have two storage classes. Actually, it's going to show up as both default here, which is, I don't know how, but but what we're going to do is we're going to apply a patch to make sure that any new workload gets applied to the CSI storage class. So get storage class, you'll see both defaults here. This is the patch. And the patch then just makes the default the CSI driver. So that's it. Thank you for your time.